Oh shit. Turn on the stream right away. Look at that. Twitch. Let's move this over here. Move this over here. Probably put my game down here somewhere. I don't know, where should I put my game, or is it easier? Maybe like right there. Yeah, it's probably easiest. There we go. Where have I been? Just working, man. Just busy. Let's see. Oh wait, he's on this side, huh? Damage, defense, damage, defense, damage. Plus rider attack plus. In the, what is that upper section of them called? Basic attributes, that's what it's called. Yo, what's up, JF? How's it going? Why the fuck is Speci in my AR at G41? He's quitting the game, so I think he's just kind of playing like the chill brackets. He isn't really taking anything too serious anymore, or he's playing in the bigger leagues. What's up, Achille? How's it going? Or Akil, sorry. I am like squinting here. Can't see that chat. Let me see if I have all my stuff on at least. I don't know if we're gonna go garrison in Pompeii. I think we're just gonna like full aggro. How am I sick again? I don't know. I like the weather changes a lot here. Like we've had like the oddest winter here. Like we went from having like no snow at all to like 85-degree weather. Like I think we were like 30 degrees above the normal temperatures out here, and then it just dropped really fast, and now it's like starting to warm back up. I think it's just like the weather and stuff like that playing with me. Like maybe like my allergies or something. Just kind of under the weather. Good to hear though. So is Priest, is he quitting? To be smoked all of us in the field? No, Priest and Magans, they took a break and went to Fearless with Speci to play an easier bracket for an AR. To save resources and stuff. Funny enough, if they had just stayed, they would have saved even more resources, because we didn't. Well, I think we had like 5 hours of fights total. The whole AR. It was the most boring AR. So, yeah. But yeah, that's what they did. They went to take a pause, take a break for an AR, and save RSS for TC and stuff. Who tagged me in the community Discord? What is this? Where am I tagged at? I don't see the message I'm tagged in. Oh, it's in the going live notification, that's why. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah. Pompeii starting at 15. Yep. Okay, we're good. Yeah, no, it's not like I'm like super sick. I needed a mental day. I needed a mental reset day as well. Just been grinding. I haven't taken a day off work yet, and everybody that I work with was off for like a week and a half pretty much. And I was not, so everybody's getting back today. I'm like, you know what? I need a day as well. So, between kind of feeling under the weather and just needing a mental day, that's where we're at. What's up, Daniel? I'm chilling. How are you? Oh shit, what up, Baguette? Appreciate you. Hey, bro. If you know someone who likes a low spent infantry account, I have mine for 650 USD. I can check around. If you send me a message in game, yeah, I can forward your player ID. I don't know if I know anybody offhand. Everybody I know offhand is trying to buy like whale accounts, but I mean, it's not to say it's not there. So, Just this last AR rocks. What's it called? Priest and Magans from what is the alliance that Spessy was in? BTW. Magans and Priest are also from BTW, and they went to go play in Fearless with Spessy for an event. I was so bad we had to fight them first day and two strongest died. Oh, that sucks. Been crazy weather this year for sure. It was almost 90 here yesterday or the day before. Now it's snowing and sticking to the ground. Yeah, dude, that's what I was saying. I think it was Friday last week. I think it was. Maybe it was Thursday. It literally, like, it downpoured all night. Then it was sunny in the morning, and then it was snowing by, like, 10 a.m. It was like, we had all 4 seasons in, like, a day. It was weird. What time is it at our place? It's 8:58 a.m. About to be 9 a.m. Z is back. I never left. Finally, Z is active. Maybe. Kinda. Sorta. Kinda mentioned it in my last, what's it called? Stream or whatever. They're gonna be far and fewer in between. Like, I'm super active on the community Discord that I have, but, yeah, in terms of streaming and stuff, I just don't have the time for it anymore. Hello, Mr. Buff Z. Oh my god. What's up, Yogurts? How's it going? Been busy with new hobbies? Oh, nice. What'd you pick up, Yalson? What are you doing these days? AR was a clown fiesta for our Alliance and Bracket, unlocking last T6 on the next Rider TCO. Congrats on that. Totally understand the clown fiasco. Fiesta, any of the above, all the above. Ours, like, literally we tower ward for 5 hours, and then the opposite faction just didn't ally each other for the whole week, pretty much, and they just fought each other, and it was stupid. It has been a while, though. It was a joke. AR was too boring to say it was an event. Yeah, it was literally, like, I literally left AR with more resources than I went in, even after 5 hours of tower fighting, just from sitting on the helipad on auto farm for 5 days. I went there, fought for 5 hours, emptied my hospital once, or maybe 1.5 times, and then I just sat on helipad and auto farmed and ended up with more resources. So that was interesting. Events, Pompeii. What's up? It has been a while. These poor guys. 204, 150, 193, 176. Yeah, this is why I'm not going to be garrisoning this round. I'm just going to run these guys down. I'm just going to play full aggro. Bruno's here. White's here. W's back. He quit the game for a few months. Blue Bear Pukey's back from his trip and stuff. CHPK. Krish is a new pickup. Yeah. Started collecting Pokemon cards. Oh shit, I do that too. Nice. I collect Pokemon and Magic the Gathering cards. What like what boosters or whatever did you get into? Yeah, that'll be an easy win. I had to be online for about 15 hours that week for AR, so 10 hours while we were having fun with the Reds. Yeah. Dude, I feel like it was less than that. I feel like it started after I woke. Maybe it started before I woke up, but I thought it started after I woke up and then just like ended a few hours later. I got hooked in base set vintage cards. Oh shit, nice. I would say that's the one thing I probably haven't gone into is the base set and the vintage type stuff. I usually go back a few gen, like I wait for like the new gen stuff come out and then figure out like what's actually hyped to like what's gonna like maintain value, and then I'll invest in it after it's been out for a year or two. I'm not set for. Might apply if your alliance still has a spot when I'm unlocked all T6s. Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah, get new gen full arts or sick as fuck. Yeah, I like the full art stuff for sure. I just like the art design on a lot of the new stuff. I did not deploy my main march. What the fuck? Did I go too early? I don't even have to place, like, they're placing markers and stuff. I'm not going to place markers on this one like I usually do, just because, yeah, I'm just gonna go straight at them. Just gonna go straight there. What about you guys? Anyone have any interesting ARs? Ours was like literally so boring. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. You don't fast. That's what I'm saying. I usually rally. I usually like set up garrison, all that stuff. I didn't set it. Like, look, my beast pairings are Pluto and Otachi. I'm not doing nothing rally. I'm not doing nothing garrison. I'm just running straight at them this event, plain and simple. Yeah, like I just said, I'm starving after AR, man. I've been walking around card shows while playing AR. Boring, too. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. 52, 37, 22 zombies, right? That sounds right. But yeah, Rocks, I usually rally. You know that. Full aggro equals full disrespect. That's literally it. That's all it is. Full disrespect. Ooh, you know what? We're gonna go like this. We do need to grab these zombies though. Let's group these over here real quick. I don't care if they go aggro. Don't matter to me. Actually, we'll just group all of my marches over here. Is that what we're doing? We're just coming out the gate swinging? Brother, the traits are not in your favor. What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing, buddy? Back to base. I don't know if you saw on your Discord, I finally swapped mail. I'm soon out of the game. Yeah, I saw that you had to give him a little push or whatever you called it. Nice little message or whatever. I read your message with like one eye open this morning when I woke up. Just tell the guy that there's been a slight delay and that you need your account for Island Raid, and then, yeah. Finally come to my home. Oh, well. If we have you, and awesome. If not, it's been a lot of fun, brother. It's been a lot of fun. Oh my god, they're hitting me with Jaden. What is this? Is this team in, like, region 900? Oh my god, there's Toms, there's Jadens. Holy moly. Hit that Sophie. There we go. I want to be debuffed. Get the AoE out of here from Daryl as well. Lena's got to go. Janet has to go. Oh, these poor guys. Holy Farmer Alliance you found. Yeah, these are the guys that are matchmaking for Apex. Cluster up and try to get Apex or something, I don't know. I haven't seen Jaden since my first, like, 4 months on this game. 3 years ago. Do we even have anybody getting the zombie? Oh, we already got it. Okay, I was like, did we just forget about it? I don't even know what might this guy is. Oh, it's a 200 mil player. Fuck it. Our pay was going to be wild. We registered 9.6 going against 15.6. Yeah, that sounds about right. I feel like once you cross like that 7.5 mark, there's like a solid 40% chance you just go against a Mega Alliance. I think we usually try to stick to staying under 7.5 for that reason. There's not enough Mega Alliances in each time bracket to... There's like, I feel like there's just like an odd number. There's always like that 1 or 2 alliances or whatever have you that you're just going to get matched against. It's not. It's just that you're on the upper end of the matchmaking. And again, there's just not enough alliances at your might for your time bracket. It's the same thing for like G1 to G5, right? Like you get registered for Apex, but they don't stick all the 30 bill plus alliances in G1. They spread them out over 3 G brackets. So they may match a couple of them together, but you're gonna have those odd ones that... How you been, man? I've been chilling, man. Just busy, brother. How are you? Wait, oh my god, my, I just realized my YouTube stream title, or sorry, my Twitch stream channel, or stream title, is not the same as my YouTube one. Change that real quick. Nice high R bracket's true. Yep. Why Sakura, Aaron? It's like my best or my highest damage output March. Sakura gets a 10% bonus in rage regen when you hit a flank target, and Aaron gives rage regen with every basic attack. So you take that flat rage regen that Aaron gets, and then you multiply it by 1.1 or 10% extra from Sakura, and it's good synergy. Plus they both do AoE. And have high offensive stats and stuff, so it's just my highest damage output March. Oh, we can port forward? Nice. Let me in on this. Someone pick up bio in 3 minutes. I can rotate to middle if we need to. I can let our guys get points. Yes. Are you one of these guys? GOZ? Is that what the gangster of Zeal? Oh, no, never mind. Oh, you are. Yeah, this is brutal. Oh, we're already holding middle. See, my guys are just way ahead. Doesn't even fucking matter. I don't need to do anything with these guys. Who should I put the strongest armaments on? And do I have the right hero pairings? I play field 3 pairs max. We had the same thing, AR, G2, Apex. See, I told you guys, I called it. This is one of those alliances that group together to matchmake for Apex to get the reward crates. I told you, I told you, I told you. Look at this. Does this look like an Apex team to you? Does that look like an Apex team? And yet they're complaining they got into G2. No, you're in there because you want free reward crates, buddy. Now I don't feel bad about beating your ass. I fucking knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Beat that French dude? Who's the French dude? Is it the guy that messaged me? He's already in his helipad. Have you seen any reports with Ethan Nova yet? I was hoping to fight one in an AR, but we just I don't know if I hit a tower that had. No, I think they all had infantry. Yeah, they had infantry from the ones that I hit. I wonder if anyone sent me any. I can't remember now. Let me see. Who would have sent me one? No. I don't think anyone sent me any. No, so I don't think I saw any during AR, unfortunately. Bro, we had a fully transcended Ethan and a 2 out of 4 Nova and low fearless. That sucks. Oh, Ozzy, who's better in the field, Rubina or Rick? Rick for sure. Well, Rubina's really good at single target damage and single target nuking. It depends on, like, if they're both fully transcended, I'd probably say that Rick has better synergies than Rubina does. But, yeah. Hold on, I gotta figure out who am I gonna tank with. I'm just gonna tank with her, fuck it. See, is there no need to rally anymore? Well, they're filling it. That's funny. We run the report sucks for us the whole event. Oh, that sucks. Where's my Sakura? Oh yeah, Steven Sakura traded hard. You're up, bro. I don't know how strong this base is. Oh, 226. Fuck it. Yeah, but our allies had one fully transcended Ethan and 3 out of 4 Nova. He didn't take a single bad trade against any rallies, and Ethan was only 6.3. Yeah, I've heard good things. Like when you think about it, though, Nova is the first. How do you say this? Ranged is the first troop type to get the brand new hero pairing of what will set up the next 2 years. Alright, so what I mean by that, nerds, you're going to have to give me a sec to explain this. Every 2 years, the default 2 heroes that a troop type will put into a rally or a garrison or whatever, that rotates every 2 years. Right? So for the last 2 years, basically, like your core garrison hero that you had in infantry, we got one of them, which is Boyd, and now we're waiting for the second one, which should come out in a few months, and then that will last until we get, more to replace, because you get one new ranged, or one new rally hero and one new garrison hero for every troop type every year, right? So it takes 2 full years to get 2 for each slot basically. So like we get Boyd last year, we get the support for Boyd this year. We got Sakura last year. Later this year, we'll get the support for Sakura, and that will become the new infantry rally and the new infantry garrison pair. Range now officially has the new gen garrison pair. They have Ethan plus Nova. Prior to that, it was Louis. Then you added Ethan to it, and then now Louis is phased out now that Nova's in, right? And then for rallies, they have Cedric, and then later this year, you'll get the pairing for Cedric for rallies. For rioters, you have Rick and Chasey or whatever have you, but it seems like Chasey's going to get phased out. Or, sorry, Rubina doesn't have her rally pair yet. So later this year, Rubina will get her rally pair. But for Garrison, you have Chasey and Rick, like that kind of thing. Wasn't Ryder Garrison Rick Chasey the first one? Yes. What I meant to say with the range one is that they got their official, like that's their first pair combined officially. Like they don't have Cedric or whatever have you. For infantry, we should get the support for or the garrison pair for Boyd first, and then later this year in the second half we'll have the rally one. That's why like you'll feel sometimes like the first half of the year, or there'll be like a 6-month period where you feel like garrisons are dominating, and then the next 6 months you'll feel like rallies are dominating, and it's because you get those core pairs to like come to fruition basically. Like you're gonna have Nova Ethan for ranged garrison, but you're not gonna have really all that much to counter that until all like troop pairs have their garrison pairs. Then you start getting the pairs for the rallies and stuff. It's like weird how it works. What's up, Pablo? Oh, we're live. Waiting for Rider New Hero. Yeah, so the Rider New Hero should be a rally pair for Rubina. So Riders will technically be the first ones to have their new core rally pair, and it'll be Rubina plus whoever this is. Then Infantry will get their garrison pair for Boyd, which should be around, I think, like July or so. June or July. And then, yeah, probably June, because it'll be the first half of the year. Then after that, we'll see the rally pair hero to pair with Cedric for ranged. Then Riders will get their garrison pair to pair with Rick and phase Chasey out, unless it just pairs better with Chasey than Rick does, but I don't imagine that. And then after that, Infantry at the very end of the year, Infantry will get someone to pair Sakura with for rallies. What's up, Rohit? What is best Rider Garrison and what pair with Pango? Rider Garrisons, it feels like I feel like Chasey Rick is the default, but I see also it depends on your setup. Like depending on your setup, Chasey and Ethan can perform better than Chasey Rick. It just depends on like what stats that you have on your armaments, refinery, and all those things. And for Pango, I mean the most economic, like unless you're a heavy spender, the most economic best choice is a Pango plus Pango. Every 3 months or so for new heroes. It's every 6 months there's a new TC hero for your troop. So in the first 6 months of the year, you'll have a new infantry hero. In the last 6 months, you'll have another infantry hero. And it's been that same way ever since the game came out. But yes, you get a new hero. I think it's every every 2 months. It's like announced at like 45 days or whatever have you, because then you have to wait the 2 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever it is till it actually comes out. That's why it feels a lot sooner. But yeah, it's like every 2 months there's a new hero. Yeah. It's every 2 months, like it's like announced or whatever have you. But yeah, in the first 6 months you'll have one new rider, one new infantry, one new ranged, and then you'll get the same thing during the last 3 months. We fought an insane Chasey Ethan this AR and it crushed us. Yeah, I've seen a lot of Chasey Ethans do better than Chasey Ricks, but I've also seen Chasey Ricks be absolutely destructive. Chasey Ricks seem like the meta for single rally garrison pairs for riders, and then Chasey Ethan still performs better in multi-rally. Kind of like with infantry, like Boyd Ribbon is still insane in single rally garrison because your shields just out sustain any damage you're gonna take. Whereas for AoE and stuff like that, like you have Ethan or Soccer, that kind of thing. Had max new rider set plus 2 max of C-chip beasts. I think Bull Kong plus or Pango Kong. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I saw that the new rider one's already coming out. Any survivors videos coming? I don't have any planned. I don't really have the time for them anymore. Nor do I really have the drive or the motivation to make videos. I don't know. After IGG brought out the year plan or whatever it is, or whatever they plan on doing this year, and there was like nothing addressed that the community actually wanted, and they just want to put in like tornadoes and all that crap. I was like, yeah, I've lost all motivation to make videos for this game. If people want to ask questions, they can go to the community Discord that I have. If they want to watch streams, I'll stream from time to time and stream more events, but I don't have the motivation to make full videos anymore. I'll give you the same information if you ask for it in the community Discord, and I have sections in there where I have pinned information, like core information that any player can use that you would typically see in videos and stuff, but I lost all my motivation to make videos for this game, and this game is not on the track I was hoping it would be on. Category 5 AR. What's up, Exile? How's it going? Appreciate you being here. First time chatter. How's Nova doing in the field? I'm confused which to work, Nova or Sharon. Sharon or Sharon, whatever the fuck, is 100 times better in field. Nova is not good for field. It's like decent if you get her like fully transcended, but it's like you could invest far less and get far more out of Sharon or Sharon, whatever the fuck, because of the HP cut and stuff. It's the first hero to actually have an HP cut for ranged troops, so it's huge. First time here, haha, I didn't know you were streaming on Twitch. I was always checking YouTube. Yeah, I multi-stream it. Nova is incredibly strong in the field. It can be, but it's one of those things you have to, like, I'm not saying she's not incredibly strong. She is strong. She's a new gen hero. It's just that she's one of those heroes like Ethan that you have to get transcended through Splendid Steel and stuff in order to unlock the skills to be able to be used in field and not be restricted to just garrison, is what I'm saying. So all I'm saying is that it's far less accessible to the average player that isn't spending money to compete in TC and stuff. Would you say Gaia Deer is better to pair? Yes. If you can afford to do multi-element garrison or rally pairs, yes, they perform better. It's just that the economic choice is going double physical, and that's because when you're doing, like, say, for example, the event that's running right now or whatever, where you, like, select an element and then you can draw for OC chips or normal chips or whatever, you're picking the element. And so you're going to get OC chips and normal chips of that element, so it helps you to work on 2 sets at once. But again, if you can afford to do multi-element garrison or rally beast pairs, yes, it will perform better. Our Pompeii enemy has a 57 win streak and 9 participants. I think this will be rough for us. Yeah, there are a few of those alliances that are quite small, but just slammed with like 9 mega accounts, or a few mega accounts to just run the map. If you are a full HP build, would Rick Ethan not be better? It depends, because the thing about Rick and Ethan is that, one, if you're leading with Rick, you lose the skills talent tree, so you don't have the extra rage regen that you would with, like, say, Chasey leading, which is a large portion of the damage output. And 2, Ethan doesn't really bring any offensive stats to the table for other troop garrisons other than ranged garrisons. Only the defense if you transcended as 4 skill, I believe it is. And so you have to have like the offensive stats to be able to supplement that AoE. Otherwise, you're just putting an AoE hero in with an AoE circle ability, but not having the attack or base stats, offensive stats, to like boost that offensive capability and actually use that AoE for like what it is. So kind of just depends. Nice to see you go live again. Appreciate you. The Fire Tooth Gold Tiger could work with Pango or Bull as leader. Yeah, any beast can work. In terms of like a support, I wouldn't use a grass beast on rallies. I would use a crit or combo beast on rallies, but in garrison, yeah, you could use crit, combo, or counter. It doesn't really matter. There's pros and cons to each one. What chip type is best on Pango, Field, and Tower? If you're so you have to think about it, right? Like when you're on Garrison, a big part of what you have to factor in is a lot of incoming damage. When you're in Field or rallies, the only thing that you need to be focusing on is your outgoing damage. And so because of that, if you're looking at like what types of chips to put on a beast in a role that you're only focusing on outgoing damage, then don't worry about counter. Just go full crit and go full combo. With that in mind, I probably wouldn't use a Pango on rallies or Field because he's very counter based and very like needs to be focus based, because he gets like all of his skills basically give him like bonus counter and stuff. I would just make the swap over to Bull at that point and just get the additional combo for the offensive stats and behavior. There's no need to worry about incoming damage, because if you think about it, like when you're in Field and you're playing with like murder balls and stuff like that, like any time that your screen goes red, you're probably backing up into your team and then re-engaging when your screen is no longer red or when your team is focusing them. So again, you're really not trying to get focused. The other part about being focused that I think a lot of people seem to miss, and I see other, you know, like other people that try to provide context or provide information for players or advice and that kind of a thing, they'll be like, oh, go counter damage, go this, go that for Field. And it's like, in the field, if I'm targeting your march, I'm not targeting you with 1, I'm targeting you with 5, which means that if you're in the field, whenever your screen goes red, you're likely not getting targeted by just 1 march. You're probably getting targeted by at least 5 of them, if not more, because if you're getting targeted, you're probably in the front. So again, you're probably getting targeted between 5 to 10 marches. And so if you're full counter damage or full counter on your beast, first off, how often do you get targeted by 5 marches and your march lasts longer than 10 seconds? If your beast attacks only every 3 seconds, then you're getting 3 instances of damage during that time, as opposed to, I'm going to play around the fact that I want to play when my screen is not red, and that way my march lasts longer, and then instead of having a 10-second window of damage, I can have, say, a 30-second window of damage, focusing on combo and crit and that kind of a thing. And now instead of my beast dealing 3 instances of damage every 3 seconds, it's done 10 instances of damage in 30 seconds. So it's very easy for the people to be like, oh, you're going to get targeted in the field, go counter damage and this and that. But it's like your marches die so fast in the field when you're targeted, it does not make sense to go counter for Field, because you'll die faster than, or you'll die far sooner than you'll actually get any benefit out of it. Is the Gold Rhino better than the Purple Bull as assistant for Gold Bull and rallies? If it's above tier 7 or tier 6, then yes. Just because it's gold doesn't automatically mean it's better, but if you can tier up that support and especially get like pristine lives and stuff like that on it, then yes, I mean, gold will always beat out purple. And like I said, like multi-element pairs for rallies and garrison are far better than double physical. Double physical is just the economic route to go. And it's the same behavior for rallies that I'm talking about with Field. If you're playing and only playing a tank rally like myself, where I have a very tanky infantry set, and I use that set for garrison, but I also use it as a tank rally because it has, you know, 1200 block, 60% damage reduction, all that kind of stuff. Because I play as a tank rally, that means that I'm being focused by the tower, so that's where counter can still apply because I'm always intaking basic attack damage. But your average player is not playing as a tank rally, right? Tank rally players are far and fewer between than just normal rally players. And if you're a normal rally player, you typically want to play as that second or third flank rally right on the tower. You don't want to be taking all the damage of that garrison. And so you're not taking basic attacks, so you're never proccing counter attacks or counter attack damage on troops or counter on beast. And so it's useless, again, on rallies. There might be instances where you are the tank rally, but unless you're solely dedicated to be a tank rally, counter is useless. I would still just go full combo or crit, because then even if you are the tank rally, you're still getting the benefit of your crit and combo stats. But then in those instances where you're not the tank rally, same thing. You're still getting the full benefit of it. How good is Janet Rubina combination if the Rubina is max compared to Daryl Rubina? I would say that Janet Rubina is better in a sense that Rubina's multiple instances of damage that she deals in 1 second, each proc their own separate instance of what's it called? Graffiti. And so now you make it to where not only is Rubina just like a single target nuke like in 1 second, but she's also dealing AoE during all those instances as well. So I've seen it work really well. Daryl is mostly useful in a sense that not even like for his AoE, it's just that he's very healthy. There's 3 ranged heroes, or sorry, not 3 ranged, but 3 rider heroes in this game that actually have defense in their kit. Elena is one of them. Daryl is one of them as well. And then I can't even remember who the third one is. Isn't it like Jonathan or something like that? Anyways, point being, there's only 3 out of all of the rider heroes that have defense as one of their base stats that comes in their skill toolkit. And so because of that, because he's naturally tanky by nature, he has the defense, he has the reduction in damage taken, that kind of stuff. Like, I typically use him for like buff marches. So you could put like a Claude behind him. You could put like a who's the other one? Claude for the debuffs, Bianca for the buffs, like anybody like that. I typically just use him for like a buff or a debuff march, because he doesn't have the highest damage output when you look at his actual like skill toolkit, but he is healthy enough to keep someone like a Claude alive if you want to use him for a buff or debuff march. Tankiest rider pair in the field, probably a Daryl and Claude, honestly. I think Daryl and Chasey is really tanky too, because Chasey just has a lot of natural like skill damage reduction, and Daryl can supplement that with the base stats. Why did my marches stop attacking that? Did I click off? That was weird. If reaching attack, defense 300% or HP 200%, then focusing on lethality block armament is good. I think that you should just focus lethality block on armaments, period, regardless. Because armaments are the only place that you can get lethality or block. You can't get lethality block lethality or block anywhere else. And those are multipliers of your base damage, which comes from attack and defense and that kind of a thing. And so I would just, I would full focus lethality and block on your armaments if you can. But that's also just like very poor decision making to do. Like I would get your armament set to a certain like baseline, like say like 5 mil, and then just start working on a second or a third march. I see too many players that have like a 6 mil march and then like 4 2 mil marches that they send to the field, and it's like the performance that you're going to get out of that 6 mil march doesn't make up for the losses that your other 4 marches take. I'd rather just send 3 marches out all at 5 mil than do that. So, but if you actually want to target stats, then yes, lethality and block are the best to target on armaments for that sole reason. That's the only place that you get it. Oh, we still have 20 minutes left in this. What the fuck? What other questions you guys got? Now would be the time. We have 23 minutes and no more Pompeii action. Who should I put the strongest armaments on, and do I have the right hero pairings? I play field 3 pairs max. Big thanks. Oh, I can just hit this button real quick and look at it. I can go back to Pompeii in a second. So it looks like you're probably running 1, 2, 3 infantry marches. Yeah, I mean, these pairings are fine. There's nothing wrong with this at all. Bodala being in front of Miyamoto is correct because of the way the skills talent tree works. This is fine too. This is fine as well. Yeah, I mean, your hero pairings are good. What was it you were asking? Strongest armaments? I would put the strongest armaments on Boyd Sakura, Boyd Isabella. Or it depends. If you want, let's see. We have a 4.3, so you come out to like 4.7 mil. Depending on your bracket, if you feel like your marches are dying too fast, I would put it on Boyd Isabella because they would survive quite a while. And your damage output doesn't matter at all if you just die immediately. But if you can typically survive for a while and it doesn't matter too much, then I would put it on the Eileen and Sakura and get the AoE benefit out of it. AoE is always going to net you better benefits in terms of like focusing damage than single target marches like this will, especially if you're fighting in team fights or murder balls. And again, the third factor on that is, of course, your play style. Are you playing more in murder balls or are you playing more by yourself? If you're playing more by yourself, you're probably targeting single marches. So your single target damage output with fast rage and high skill damage is going to do your best right here with Boyd and Isabella. But again, if you're playing in team fights, you're going to want the AoE to be able to hit more marches at once while you're not being targeted. So you're Eileen Sakura. So it really depends there. Hazy, I need to awaken either Adut, Eileen, or Julian looking to field fight, but I keep getting melted by Claude or Janet. I would go with Julian for sure. I would go with the current meta stuff. Eileen is like pretty much just on par with like Miyamoto, for example. Julian is just like, you're looking at it as like you're fighting tough opponents, and the best way to fight tough opponents isn't to try to like spend or get yourself up to their level. It's to bring them down to you, and you do that by debuffing them. So that's by using your Quads, your Julians, and anybody else that you can use to cut HP, cut defense, cut attack, and bring their performance down to your level. Now all of a sudden they're not trading better than you, they're trading even with you, and you have a better chance. Bronte and Isabella, or Sophie and Bronte is the second March if first is Nova Ethan. I like Isabella a lot because she has the debuffs. I would almost give up Bronte in that case. Bronte is Jack, right? If I remember right. Yeah. I would give up Jack and I would actually just go Sophie and yeah, I would go Sophie and Isabella. I actually use Sophie Isabella in my March. When it's not in this lineup because I went full offensive, but if I wasn't doing this, I typically have Ethan saved for Garrison or just kind of set off to the side, and I actually run Sophie Isabella as one of my marches, and did for a long time as well, because they both debuff. If you don't have Isabella transcended on her first skill to go to 5 people to hit, it actually hits 3, just like Sophie's does. And so what you get is that Sophie has a low rage required output of 900, and Isabella has additional rage regen. Is it this one? Yeah, so she has additional rage regen. She has a low rage proc rate, but they both do debuffs. She makes it to where they take 20% more skill damage. She makes it to where they take an additional 15% damage. So it's just a very high damage output, but then also high debuff march with a low rage proc rate, so you can keep those debuffs up consistently. So I like Sophie and Isabella better. Yep, no worries. Good to see you, Z. What's your opinion on the pair, on what pair is better, Ethan Nova or Nova Ethan? By the way, is on G6 with you guys. Korean Iron Legion insisted on Ethan Nova. I like Nova Ethan. All right, there's arguments for both, but after looking into it and talking to a bunch of people and looking at the performance, they have the same skill trees, right? So it doesn't really matter. Ranged Garrison skills and ranged Garrison skills here as well, so that part doesn't matter. What we're looking at here is the hero talent, Skillful Firepower, which increases skill damage by 7.5% for 6 seconds after using a skill. Nova's skill on Garrison, let's go to the full transcended part. Where is the, oh, here we go. Deals damage to 3 people, right? On Ethan's skill, when it's transcended, it deals damage to 4 people. So the difference is that you take that 7.5% skill damage bonus, and because he's hitting more people with the AoE, it makes that additional target take that 7.5% bonus damage. And so we did the math on that when comparing it to Nova ends up getting the 7.5% bonus because her skill actually deals more damage as opposed to hitting a 4th target, and having Ethan support with bonus skill damage to that 4th target ended up netting better. It's very marginal, so you won't notice that crazy of a difference, but there is a slight advantage to Nova Ethan over Ethan Nova in that sense. For my double Pango Garrison, I have crit on leader and counter on support. Is this the most optimal setup, or would I want combo chips on one of them? No, I mean, that's honestly perfectly fine, and the reason why that's perfectly fine is because you have to look at your support beast active skill to see what triggers it, and with Pangos it triggers off of crit, so you need crit to be extremely high to keep the sustained damage and the support damage consistent. Because, yeah, you can sit here and be like, oh, well, I'm not dealing combo damage, and if I dealt combos, I could deal more damage. Sure, but the thing is that if you're not dealing a crit, you're never using your support beast anyways. So you need crit to be like your highest stat. And then because you're on Garrison, counter is going to help if you're swarmed, if you're multi-rallied, that kind of a thing, while combo is only going to focus on the single rally target. And typically your rally target is a tank rally, so focusing all that damage into them isn't going to net you the best results unless there's a drastic difference. So unless you're running double OCs, then yeah, I would just run crit and counter in your case. It's going to net you the best. It'll make sure that your Pango attacks consistently, and then you also have the counter for counter against swarms and multi-rallies. Is counter damage useful in a ranged squad equipment, or is it only useful for rider squad equipment? It's actually not really useful in either of them. The thing is that they create troop types and set you up and equip you in a way to play a certain play style. With Rider Garrison, yes, they're like every troop type has their weaknesses, right? With infantry garrisons, it's their lack of damage, but they have high sustain as their pro. For ranged garrison, they have high skill damage and AoE output, but they have low defense. With rider garrisons, they have high single target damage through their basic attack damage and such, which circumvents all the skill damage reductions that a lot of heroes have. So like Ethan, for example, skill damage reduction. Chase, he has a lot of skill damage reduction, yada yada yada, right? They can circumvent all that skill damage reduction that you get from talent trees and all that stuff by dealing high basic attack damage, and not many heroes have basic attack damage reduction. So they have high single target damage, they circumvent a lot of your damage reduction, that kind of thing. That's where they shine. But they're weak to multiple rallies and weak versus swarms and stuff because they don't have counter damage. But that is their player style. That is what they were able to do. If you had a troop type that was really good at single target damage, really good at multi-target damage, and was very sustainable, there'd be no reason to play any other troop type. So every troop type in Garrison, in rallies, has their weaknesses, has their pros, has their cons, yada yada yada. Point being, after saying all that, is that you shouldn't focus counter damage on riders or on ranged because it's not needed on either of them. With your range, you're going to focus on skill damage and high attack because they have AoE skill damage and stuff and AoE skills, and that will be your basically your counter attack, right? It's your AoE damage. With riders, it's going to suck. But getting counter damage, since none of your heroes are giving bonus counter damage or anything like that anyways, you're not going to be able to get enough counter damage to actually make a difference at all. You're far better off getting some block, getting some defense and that kind of a thing to be able to sustain those swarms and multi-rallies, and instead focus all of your damage on that single target. So bonus basic attack damage, higher attack to be able to supplement that kind of a thing. Focusing counter damage is a shot in your own foot either way. Their take on Ethan Nova was about getting more healing and stacks for Ethan. Yeah, again, like we factored everything with that, and it didn't really matter. Like when it came to the stacks, it was more about the consistent damage output. Like I said, there's arguments for both sides of things. It's just that after we looked at both, it didn't really seem. I don't know. It doesn't like. The stacks and stuff like that are all built off of counterattacks for Ethan. Ethan's stacks are all built off of counterattacks. That's it. Where is his thing? It's built off of his counterattacks and how many targets that he hits. For every target hit, he gets gunfire stacks. And then he gets it off of this passive, but then he gets it off of counterattacks. So I mean, it's going to be consistent anyways. The fastest way to build up Ethan's stacks is to swarm a range tower or to multi-rally him, like plain and simple. Anything else that you do is just going to be very marginal. But you can consistently impact the damage output because of the talent tree by running Nova Ethan. This one was over before it started. Everyone get their points. Everyone got their points. Okay, cool. And there's nothing much else to it. Anything else? We got 12 minutes left. Like I said, with the Ethan Nova stuff, there's pros and cons to both, like I made mention. You get the more consistent damage with the AoE and stuff like that, and then, on the other hand, yes, you can worry about the healing, but like we've seen ever since Thunder came out and everyone was all about the healing on Thunder, healing doesn't do anything more than fill your hospital faster. That's all it is. You're healing lightly wounded troops, and on Garrison, you're mostly worried about heavily wounded troops and deaths and reducing that number. The lightly wounded troops don't matter. You just kick a march out. They get all their lightly wounded troops back anyways. All your healing is doing is taking the lightly wounded troops and bringing them back to being active in the tower. But if you're on a good Garrison anyways, that tower is being spam filled. So healing is minute, and it doesn't matter. But when we were also looking at it too, we were taking into consideration that if you're hitting a fourth target with an Ethan AoE, odds are that even in AR you're hitting you're hitting a field march, which is probably swarming your tower, because you're only getting rallied by up to 3 allies at once. So that bonus damage hitting a swarm march or hitting a fourth rally that's hitting the tower that's just waiting to deal damage and dealing bonus damage to it while it's not dealing damage to you because 3 others are already hitting it is also nice. So I don't know. We were just looking at it like situationally. Like I said, you can go either one, and it's going to be marginal differences either way. Maybe I need to do 15 UTC more often. Does Vela pair well with Claude as a 5th squad, as Ryder isn't very tanky and has to really hit and run? I mean, it really just depends on your armament sets. It's less so about how many like heroes can I put out there, and it's more about how many hero pairs and marches can I support with armaments. If you have 5 marches that are at least 4, 4.5, 5 mil each, so then they're not just dying fast, then yeah, you can run anybody with Claude. You can run Bella as a debuff march with anybody. And Bella Claude is one of those examples where Claude would debuff them, Bella would debuff them, and stuff like that. Like, yes, there's, you could do that. But it's more so about, does your armament set that you're going to put on that 5th march make sense to send a 5th march, or is it better to move Claude up into one of your other 4 or 3 marches that you actually have sustainable armaments for? Which skill would you choose for Rubina to transcend to player on field and for rallies? I can't even remember, because I don't even think I've transcended anything on Rubina, because I don't really use Rubina. You have to give me a sec. I think it was her rage skill first, wasn't it? 1 to 5 times, 2 to 6 times. No, maybe it's not actually. No, so her Wolfblood Pact one removes the rally restriction, which is good for field. Yeah, so the Wolfblood Pact one would probably be most impactful for field. But I don't know if that's the most impactful for rallies. In terms of like damage output, I think it's still her rage skill that deals the most. Because you get more consistent with a minimum of 2 stacks instead of 1 and up to 6 stacks instead of 5. So you have more opportunity in terms of rallies to deal more damage consistently. Wait for all my marches to get here before I just start swarming shit down. How fast does a Miyamoto march melt? And gone. It was an even fight until it started. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. That's true. That's crazy. Can I open that? Sure. What is it? It's a rally. It's lipstick?
No, it's the one that you put it over.
You put it over lipstick? Oh, you already have lipstick? Nice. How do you open it?
You twist it.
Oh, you twist it. I thought that was a button.
That wasn't a button.
Did I do that right?
Yeah, you did that right.
Oh, okay. There we go. Love you. Anything special we need to prepare for the upcoming Glory of Pompeii event? Not necessarily. I don't know if we even have all the details on it. And someone, please correct me if I'm wrong. Is there even time slots? Maybe you guys can answer this for me as well. Anyone know? Is there actually time slots for this Glory of Pompeii event, or is it just one time slot? Because I was thinking about that. Like, you have this, like, tournament bracket style type thing, but, like, what if you have, like, one... Like, if you have time brackets, does that make sense to have, like, one team that's super good at, like, 3 UTC and one team that's super good at 18 and all that? So, like, that doesn't really make sense to me. Like, I feel like you have to have one time slot and then have a tournament bracket style around that one time slot. I don't... Am I wrong? Or how does that work? Because in my mind, having multiple time slots doesn't make sense. It'd be really hard, again, to be like, oh, this team is like a top team in 18 or 19 UTC, and this is a top team in 13 UTC, and now you have to, like, put them into, like, you have to pick the one time slot that the one team favors and the time slot that the other team doesn't favor if you're going to match them. Like, I don't know. How does that work? If it's one time slot, like Genesis War originally was, like, say 14 UTC, then yeah, that makes sense. How does that make sense? Am I, like, overthinking it? That's what I'm saying, right? So that's what makes me to believe that there is no time slots. But only one grand prize, how do you determine who wins with so many time slots / brackets? I'm not using Julian in the field? I thought I am. Yeah, I am. He's behind Miyamoto. One time slot is the only thing that makes sense to me with a tournament bracket of elimination. You have all teams, then 172 or 1. I don't know. I feel like they have not put any information out about it. Shouldn't he be the leader? Hell no. He should never be the leader. He does not have the skills talent tree. If you have Julian as your leader in your March, I think your rage skill use timer is like 8 or 9 seconds. But if you have a skills talent tree, it's between 5 to 7. So you're shooting yourself in the foot big time if you have Julian leading when he doesn't have the skills talent tree. Does it make sense from a like stat standpoint? Yeah, because you want to have him debuffing before your second March hits, but he doesn't have the skills talent tree, so you miss out on a lot of rage regen and actual usage of his rage skill. No, you're good. I literally just made these marches like last night before I went to bed, so I thought that maybe I missed putting him in. But no, he's behind Miyamoto. At knockout stage, it'll probably be one time slot, but maybe in regular season there'll be slots anyway. So, but that's my whole point, is that if in the regular season you have multiple time slots and then you qualify for that tournament bracket or whatever have you, or you qualify for the knockout brackets, now all of a sudden you have teams that played the normal bracket at 3 UTC having to register at 15 UTC, which doesn't make any sense, right? So, or whatever time they decide. That doesn't make any sense because you screw over the 75% of teams that haven't been registering at that one bracket and benefit the one time slot and the teams that did play it. I don't know. It's weird. I wish Sky would stop giving advice in DLS Discord. He makes my eyes bleed. I actually like the fact that he puts out content or gives advice, because then what ends up happening is he gives advice, people find my videos, and then it generates me views because then they actually get the correct information, but they go looking for the correct information because the information he gives them is wrong in the majority of cases. So technically speaking, like, Sky's inability to actually know what he's talking about gives me a lot of views. So, I thank him for his community service to this channel. Sky actually makes me laugh. He's just one of those people that sounds so confident in what he's talking about, even though he has no idea what he's talking about. I envy the fact, I envy somebody that can be so confident and just, I don't know, being wrong. Like, good for him, man. I don't even have that confidence when I know that I'm right on things. Alright, let's get this fucking thing going again. Bless the ignorant. Bless the ignorant. It's crazy. Oh, wait, we have a fun fact, guys, in case you didn't know this works. Gathering bonus actually helps when you're farming alliance tiles. So, where's our oil at here? Gather. 3. So when I gather oil from an alliance tile, or an alliance oil tile, for example, I gather 2.3 mil, and then I get 2.5 mil in bonus. So it's like 5 mil instead of 2.3 mil. It's crazy. Sorry for this boring pomp. It's not boring, man. It has nothing to do with you. It's just IGG matchmaking. There's nothing you could do about it. I apologize for you for being a boring Pompeii. Like, we're here to play. I feel bad that you got matched with us. Can't gather that much oil. We empty it too fast. I think I have like 700% in my oil gathering speed. Because I have 103% here. Plus the bonus, plus the refinery portion. Yeah, I think when I was looking at it, it's like 750% or 800 or something like that. At knockouts, oh wait, I don't know anything about glory event. Yeah, nobody does. That's the whole point, is that it's so confusing, unfortunately. Well, let's take a look. Do they say anything? Like, I feel like I've read through this, but I couldn't find anything. So at the end of the registration period, the top 512 alliances ranked by rating will qualify for the regular season. So you have to be a top 512 team. That's fine. The regular season lasts 12 weeks, during which teams will randomly be matched against opponents. So you could match against a super strong one, you can match against a weak one, is what that seems like. Okay. Teams will earn alliance points throughout the regular season, which are calculated as the alliance rating multiplied by the event kill performance multiplier. The event kill performance is increased based on the alliance's kill performance in each match. For every 500,000 alliance kill points achieved in a match, the multiplier will increase by 2%. So basically, you just want to go out every single event, even if you're on the back foot. Like, if you're fighting the strongest team in the bracket, it doesn't really matter. The initial event kill performance is 100%. That makes sense. At the end of the regular season, alliances will be ranked based on their number of wins and alliance points, where having more wins will grant a higher ranking. Alliances with the same number of wins will be ranked by their alliance points. At the end of that stage, then you are the top 128 in the knockout stage. When the knockout stage begins, participating alliances will be randomly assigned to one of 8 war zones, with 16 alliances in each war zone. Okay, so you think that about like G1 through G8. The knockout stage will last for 9 weeks. In each round, the winning teams advance to the next round, while the losing teams are eliminated. So this is the point. This is where I wonder, and I question, right? I'm going to pause my music real quick because I can't think straight when I have so much shit going on at once. There we go. Okay, so that, like, to me, that just doesn't make any sense, because it doesn't talk anything about there being a 3 UTC, a 13 UTC, 15 UTC, and 19 UTC Pompeii times. It just talks about these knockout things. If you're going to randomly matchmake against teams, I can't be a 3 UTC team and you're a 19 UTC team and us match up. Like, I feel like there has to be one time every single day that these matches are played, similar to Genesis War being at 14 UTC in every map and all that kind of a thing. That's the only thing in my mind that makes sense. Does that make sense to you guys as well, or am I like going crazy here? Because if you have like this top 128 and you get into the top 128 as a, say, a 3 UTC team, right? And you're playing against like a 19 UTC team, how do you determine what time that those two teams in the top 128 play? Like, you have to determine that off of the fact that they're playing at the same time, right? I hope a new event that people actually like comes soon. A few longtime members of my alliance left after the last IR because they got bored and are moving to other games. And finding me to replace them is very difficult, especially when 2 of them are R4s. Finding other players, damn autocorrect. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't necessarily feel like we need new events, because they brought out that one new event and then took it away. They took Genesis War and replaced it with Extreme Showdown. We have Off Limits. We have Pompeii. We now have this new Pompeii thing. We have AR. We have IR. We have a lot of events anyways. I think rather than just slamming new events into the game, they need to go back and retailer the events that they do have, right? Like, we got told that we would get Darksteel back. Doesn't seem like we're going to get it back. They, instead of improving AR by improving the map, so then you're not just sitting on your ass for 4 days and then tower fighting the last day or whatever have you. Like, they need to edit the map to make it to where it's more interactive and you can actually like tower war and fight. And like, the map is actually in conflict the whole week instead of the last 48 hours. Island raid, you get cement way too slow, so you're having to wait until, again, the last 48 hours to fight teams on the other side of the map. Like, there's just no creativity going into the maps. And rather than like weather and this type of bullshit or whatever that they're looking at, I think that they need to find ways to make their maps more interactive, more I don't know, just more fun. Like, it's a war event. Like, why am I registering for a war event and waiting 30 days to wait for AR just to sit in my helipad for 4 days before Tower Wars? Like, I don't really get that. They also need to honestly like look across the board for all of their events. They just need to reduce the cost of healing. Like, if you're going to have this many events and that kind of a thing, just reduce the cost of healing so players can actually keep up. Otherwise, you get burnt out. Once the champions of each war zone are determined, these 8 alliances from the G1 through G8, the brackets, yes, will represent their respective war zones to compete for the final championship. During the knockout stage, participants will have some of their attributes upgraded to the maximum levels in the competition map as detailed below. Rounds 1 through 4. Yep. Rounds 5 through 7. Sure. Only alliances with at least 30 watchtowers will be eligible to register. Sorry, I've got a message. Oh yeah, no, matchmaking is approved for sure. Anybody that says that matchmaking hasn't improved is just ignorant. They created brackets, Apex, Elite, Fearless. You can register for the bracket that you want to be in. They're not saying their matchmaking is perfect. Obviously, it's not because you have mega whales in the bottom brackets. You have bottom teams that are registering at rank 400 getting placed in G6. Like, sure, doesn't make sense. But the bracketing and that kind of stuff is steps in the right direction. They have room to improve that. Yes. Anyways, participant list R4. Blah, 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 blah. Freely switch alliances as long as they return. 30 members from the main force. 10 as substitutes. Brand new map. Not be interested. Blah, blah, blah. Faction you belong to. Players on the map will be marked in the same color as the faction. 3 minutes of preparation. 1 hour. Yeah, it has nothing that talks about the times. Wounded. Yeah, there's nothing about time slots. It's crazy to me. I don't know. I don't know. I will think about when the event comes. I've stopped thinking about this game. Yep, pretty much. That's where I'm at too. Although last year I was a big bummer because we didn't have any allies. I would have rather not had any allies in an AR. I actually enjoy the matches where you don't have any allies and you just like 1v3 or 1v2 or whatever. Like, that shit is so much fun. That shit is so much fun. Like, I would take losing every troop in my base but having a banger of an event over like politics deciding the fact that like nobody's fighting. Like, it's so stupid. Politics ruin this game. Too many people auto-ally. Too many people don't want to fight. Blah, 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 blah. But it is what it is. I don't know. Anything else before I head out of here? We wrapped up Pompeii. I ain't really got much else. Nothing else to do. There's no other events. I'll do Wasteland later. Oh, I gotta get my crate, huh? I always forget about this thing. Nice. I think that's about it. We head out of here now. I don't think I missed any questions, right? Should be good. Yeah, we should be good. Alright, fam. I'm out of here. I was on the same map as you. You should know extremely boring, or no extremely boring event. Yep. Yep. AR was dumb. AR was super dumb. You gotta go. Goodbye. Yeah, I'm out here, guys. Y'all have a good one. I think Hi Guy's streaming. Go watch him if you want to watch some Doomsday or something, but I do not have the patience to sit on this game when there's nothing to do. So we have what, Island Raid in how many days? Event that'll start in 7 days and 24 hours of registration and then matchmaking. So what is that? Next Thursday or so we'll do a bracket review type thing again. So probably be back around then. But other than that, peace out, guys. See ya later.